This is a 2013 Ford Transit Connect that I picked up from Facebook Marketplace. Now, I only paid $1,600 for this car, but it came with a few problems. And today, I'm gonna show you the problems that it came with. I'm gonna show you how I repaired them and fixed them right here in my driveway and made over $3,000 in profit in just 1 week. I'm gonna show you the step-by-step process of how I turned this car into pure profit. Let's get into it. Okay, here we go. Super cold in here. As you can see, the windows are iced out. So I picked up this car from a guy that was a painter. He recently sold his business and he was selling the Transit. He worked in a supermarket here where I went to go pick up the car. And this is pretty much where I went to go pick it up. We made the deal and we decided on a price. It was $1,600. Okay, it was a bit of a ride, but we got our Ford Transit home. Now let's go over this thing and see exactly what's wrong with it, what needs to be fixed, and how we can make a profit. So the first thing I noticed about the van when I looked for it on Facebook Marketplace was the rocker panels. They were all rusted out. Check it out. This side right here is the worst. It's pretty much rusted out, but the rust on this thing does not scare me because we can change these things. And the good part is when I talked to the guy, I was asking him if the rust was going into the inside, and as you can see, it was not. So the only part that's rusted is the bottom part. This side of the car has the same thing, but not as bad as the other side. You just have some over here and a big chunk right over here. That didn't discourage me. I did my research before I went to purchase the car, and I ordered the rocker panels. They should be here tomorrow, and they were only $100. Now back here on the rear bumper, there's a bit of rust, but it didn't chew through the bumper. I'm gonna try to save this bumper, or maybe I'll change it. I don't know. There's surface rust on it. The rust could be treated and we could probably save this bumper. But other than that, this van looks really good. It has a bunch of paint on it because, again, this was a painter's van. You can see all of these paint marks on here as if he was painting and touched the van. You can see we have paint on the bumper, paint on every door handle. Same on this side, just paint on the door handles and the car, but that could be removed. Let's check out the back of the van. It's pretty much the same in here. We got these two big doors that open. Looks like he has these little plastic containers here, I'm assuming, to hold paintbrushes and stuff like that. We do have these two nice shelves that a mechanic can use, a plumber, and that's what I like about these vans. This is gonna cater to a lot of business owners, so it should sell fast. We could do power washing, plumbing, painting, anything, guys. You could be creative, and I think that's what I like about this van. Me being an entrepreneur, I think that these vans just like turn me on in some type of way, you know? Some people use them for van life. They put beds in here and they travel the whole United States or wherever you're from. You can get super creative with these things, and that's what turned me on to the van. Yeah. We also have a pretty cool roof rack up here where you could put a ladder. Let's check out the inside. Again, paint everywhere, on the doors, on the seats, steering wheel, and super dirty. So one of the main things that's wrong with this van, besides the rust, is you get a crazy vibration. I want you guys to listen real quick. Now, I'm not sure if you guys can hear that. Listen to that. You pretty much get some kind of vibration, which I'm assuming, based off my research, is some kind of motor mount or something like that. Now, we only have 152,000 miles on her. The tires are extremely good as well. They all have tread like this. They're like almost like brand new, basically. And get this, guys, this is a one owner van, guys. That means when he first started his paint career, he told me he purchased this van. He recently retired, and now we got 152,000 miles that he put on this van throughout the years. So let's scan this car and see if there's any codes. When I met up with him the other day, I did scan it, but I want to show you guys to ensure you there's no codes on this car. See what we got. 3 codes. But there are no stored codes. Let's check out a pending, and there are no pending codes. Probably saying to yourself, how did you get this car for so cheap? These cars go from anywhere from $5,000 50,000 to 5,500 in my area easily. And the reason I got it so cheap is because you have to catch people at vulnerable times when they're retiring. You know, it's like buying houses. When you're buying a house, you want to catch somebody when they had a divorce or they're retiring, they're moving, they just want to get rid of it. And that's exactly what happened with this van. You have to be there at the right place in the right time. Anyway, let's get started on this van. Okay, so I've done a bunch of research on that vibration, and it seems to be the motor mounts. So we're gonna test that theory right now. So what I'm gonna do is start the car and shift it between drive and reverse. Pretty much what we're gonna see is if the motor shifts back and forth, if it moves. Let's do that. So we're gonna go reverse, neutral, drive, reverse, neutral, drive. And you can see the engine is moving and shifting. The engine shouldn't be moving and it shouldn't be shifting while we're putting in drive, reverse, neutral, anything like that. The engine is moving. So there you have it, ladies and gents. There are bad motor mounts on this car. There's one here, which is located right under our coolant box. And then we have another located under the battery. And also there's a third one located under the car. But we're gonna start with the two top, see if that makes a difference. If it doesn't, then we'll get the last one under the car. We got our antifreeze reservoir out the way. We got our brake fluid out the way. And now we got to get our first motor mount out. So I started off by putting my manual jack right under the car engine to jack it up slightly so we can have some support for the engine when we remove the motor mount. And there we go, guys. That's our motor mount. Doesn't look too good. And here goes our new one. Way better shape than this one. Let's put it in. Look how empty that section looks. You can see the belts and everything. You can get to the belts. You can see we have our 5 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're gonna put it on the same way. This one requires us to remove the battery, and it's located right under there. Next thing here, we have to remove this battery tray, and hopefully it comes out smoothly. Those bolts look pretty rusty. So I can tell based off the way these things are so rusted out that these motor mounts have never been changed. So we're able to get 2 out of 3. Like I said, these things were so rusty. So I have these bolt grabbers that pretty much, I don't know if they call bolt grabbers, but they pretty much grip onto strip bolts, and they should be able to get it out. So I gotta hammer this on there, and hopefully we get out that stuck rusted bolt right there. So I'm gonna hammer this in. It should grip on there because of these little ridges on there. We should be able to get that off. Let's give it a go. We got it, guys. She gripped on there. And there we go. You can see that stuck on there. Came out. Our battery tray is out. Okay, here's our transmission mount, and it's pretty much right in here under the trays. You can see we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts holding it in. We're gonna take those out. And there we go, guys. There's our mount. Here's our new one. Looking good. Let's see if there's a difference. Super smooth, slight vibration because of course you got racks, metal racks back here, but super smooth, none of that big growling that it had. Always satisfying when you get it accomplished by yourself. Our rocker panels were just delivered. Like you see, we got brand new rocker panels. Now I am going to outsource putting these on. I was going to attempt to do these myself, but I have never welded in my life. Honestly, I'm not scared. It's just that we're in the Northeast and it's super cold. I don't even want to cut those old rocker panels off and then can't figure out how to do it correctly. So I'm going to save my time and labor on other things for the car. But I found someone that's going to do it for really cheap. And I just want to say to you, a lot of you guys out there, if you have talent, use it. I was searching for somebody to do these rocker panels online, a welder, and like I couldn't find anybody to do it. I was looking all over Facebook Marketplace. It's just crazy. A lot of people were like not wanting to do anything. They're like wasting their talent. Like everybody wants to start off like a boss. Nobody wants to start from the bottom. You do anything, use it, put it online, post it. Somebody like me is probably looking for somebody to do something that I can't do right now. So yeah. Guys, our rocker panels are officially on there. You can see this side and this side as well. So check out the welds, guys. I think he did a good job. He only charged me $150. I drove up to his house, went ahead and dropped off the panels, and he was able to weld those on for me for only $150. He cut the other ones off and put these on. I don't think he did a bad job at all. Again, I'm not a professional welder, but again, he knew what he was doing. He did it in 2 days, and the thing got done, man. And that's what was the most important thing. So I went ahead and started sanding down the welds just a little bit. I didn't go crazy. I sanded down the panel to get it ready for primer. Okay, so I sanded it down with a 600 grit, and we went ahead and got it ready for the primer. Now with this rear bumper, I decided to sand out that rust and not buy a new one. So I sanded that out, and then we went ahead and treated the rust with a rust preventer. I'm going to show you guys which rust preventer I went for. So I wanted to tape everything up first to get it ready for the paint, because I didn't want to get any extra stuff on the panel. So we went ahead and taped all the plastic pieces around it, and pretty much, made sure it was secure before we put our primer. Now you can see I went ahead and used this rust preventer by Rust-Oleum. It's okay, not that great, but we put it on there and we went ahead and let it dry before we put our primer down. You can see we treated the rust on our rear bumper, but if you notice, the rear bumper is kind of dented in. If you look at it, you can look at it from an angle. It's like going in. You can see that this is kind of popping out and that's going in. So what I did here was connect this chain to the tree, and then we're gonna put our pump on here and we're gonna pump out that back bumper. I got my hydraulic pump, and I also have the hydraulic hook right here. I'm gonna hook the hook over here. I'm gonna hook the chain onto this other hook right here, and then we're gonna start to pull it out. Okay, after a little bit of pulling, we're definitely able to make a little bit of progress. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's not gonna be all the way dented in, which is good. We definitely did something. So we're gonna leave it like that, and we're gonna paint this thing. Starting to get a little snow over here, so looks like we're gonna have to wait for the paint, but we did get a lot done. So I guess tomorrow morning, we'll get back to the paint. So it is paint time, guys. We went ahead and put some primer down. Now at first, I was getting a little frustrated because I'm like, this is not coming out the way I want it to come out, guys, because you guys know me. If you watch this channel, I love using a paint gun. I love to really perfect everything, but it's the winter time and I'm having a hard time with this paint because I'm outdoors. Of course, my inside of my garage is not heated. Shout out to everybody who asked me about my garage, so I'm working on getting the heat there. But as you can see, the primer did come out decent. After my second and third coat of the primer, it did come out good. So our next step here is to apply our white paint. Now I went ahead and went with a duplicate color so we can try to match that car the best we can. It's just rocker panels. I didn't want to go crazy, but you guys know, again, I love to use that paint gun, but we can't because it's winter. So I went with the best thing that I can use to match. Now the first couple coats, I was a little disappointed, but I had to apply an extra can on there so that it can really pop, and it did. It ended up working out and it ended up matching decently. Not as much as I wanted to, but it did match and it really covered that. But the next step we're gonna do is apply a clear coat so we can really get that paint to really lock in there and not get messed up. So for our clear coat, we went with a 2K clear. This one has a hardener in it, just like a real clear coat that you would apply on a car, except it's in a can. And this one's really gonna lock in that white base coat and really make sure that the paint doesn't peel off or anything like that. We applied 2 to 3 coats of this, really taking our time and laying it down smoothly. So once I applied that second coat of white and then I applied our clear, it doesn't look so bad. Now, is it pretty? It's not. It's a work van. So you know what? That's kind of why I took the chance and painted it outside in the winter, because I really don't care how pretty it was gonna look. Now, I didn't want drips, especially this rear bumper. It's horrible. I don't like the way it looks, but it's a work van. As long as it's not rusted out anymore, I could have did a better job, but it's just ugly. Overall, once the clear coat sets in, it's gonna be solid and it's gonna work out. Not that happy with the results. You guys know me. You know I love to make things look pretty. If you watch the channel, if you haven't watched any other videos, check out my paint videos where I use a paint gun, but it's wintertime here in New York, super cold, and I had to take the chance and go ahead and paint it with spray cans. Can't use a paint gun out here. And these aren't my usual results, but it works, guys. If you guys have not signed up to our free Honda Civic, then you're missing out. Once we get to 20K subs, I will be giving away a free Honda Civic that we built right here on this channel. If you guys haven't seen those videos, the videos are there of me actually building this thing, painting it. There's so much parts that have to continue to go onto the Civic. But if you guys do want to sign up, you just go to the website. You got to like, comment, subscribe, share the video with a friend. And once we hit 20K subs, one of you guys will be delivered a free Honda Civic, guys. Don't miss out. Go to the website, sign up. It's free. There's no catch. Anyway, let's get back to the video. Final steps here is the detail. Now remember, we have paint all on the door handles, nothing crazy. But the biggest part is we have paint on the seats. I think that'll be the hardest part, but we're gonna get at it right now. So the first thing I wanna do is agitate these seats. I'm gonna go ahead and use my drill brush. I'm gonna use some of the solvent that I use to clean my paint gun. It works really good, like when the paint gets on my paint gun. And I'm also gonna use some alcohol and just apply it on there. Let it sit for a second. Then I'm gonna apply my solvent. Let's give it a drill. So by far the hardest part of this car was removing the paint, guys. Now this seat, I could not get it perfect. The best I got was what you're about to see right here. I couldn't get the paint off of it no matter what I did. I used so many tools, so much product, and could not get the paint off, guys. If you guys have anything that you guys can let me know in the future, drop a comment below and let me know how I can get out that paint, guys. And we went ahead and used our brush over here and got the paint off of the panels the best we can. And again, there's paint stains on this car that I cannot get off, guys. I tried my best. We really worked at it and pretty much worked really hard. And the car came out really, really good, but just not perfect as I wanted it to. No matter how much solvent I used, no matter how much paint thinner I used, it just wasn't working out. So when it comes to the outside paint over here like this, I'm gonna go ahead and spray and wipe it down. Here's an example. Spray the panel and give it a wipe. You can see that's coming off. Spray it again. Wipe off the panel. You can see that came off a lot. So now I have to continue this process over and over. So let's go over the numbers for this car. I paid $1,600 for the car. Now to go pick it up, I rented a trailer plus gas. That was $148. The rocker panels were $108. The motor mounts were $61. Gas for this thing was $21. The welding job was $150. To get it inspected was $50. I bought paint for $60. Primer for $12. Hubcaps for $33, bringing us to a grand total of $2,243. Now I'm gonna sell the car for $5,500, bringing us to a grand total profit of $3,257, guys. So we got our detail done, but we're missing one thing. This van doesn't have hubcaps. Now the snow is starting to hit. We finished the detail right before the snow got too crazy. The hubcap size is 15, and it looks like it's correct. Now that's a big difference, guys. You can see a difference in the whole appearance. Just that small hubcap upgrade just made the whole van look different. Not bad at all, guys. So in the end, I'm definitely happy with this flip because I know it came out the way I wanted it to, and the profit is massive. Now I did struggle a lot with the paint on the car. I wish I knew that the paint was gonna be that bad, but this is my first time trying to take off paint all over a car. But it worked out for the best. This looks like a really good work van. Somebody's really gonna enjoy it. Now, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you go check out the next video that's about to pop on the screen. And if you guys haven't signed up for our free Civic, not sure what you're waiting for, Jay here from flippingcarsforfun.com.